Good evening. Welcome to our Amud Yomi Shir. We are learning the Amud Yomi of the Dirshu cycle. And today we are in Daf Chav Gimel Amud Beis, really, but we are still a little bit behind right now. We're in Daf Chav Gimel Amud Aleph. We are a few lines, good few lines from the bottom of the page. When you count from the wide lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines from the wide lines. Line starts with the word lezilzuli ba. Rava Amar over Merz Masrinen, Omar Avuna. Yeah, a new statement of Omar Avuna. The shir is Leilu Nishmas of Imer Menachem Ben Akiva. Latzlochas Atzolas Klal Yisrael. Ule Ziyuk Tov Shel Shir Liva Bases Tafuma. Omar Avuna. Says Rav Huna, Chotzer sheyesh la beis psochim. A chotzer, we're learning the halachas of Hanukkah. Chotzer sheyesh la shnei psochim. A chotzer has, now we don't now have to go into why it says chotzer or house. Rashi says a house has two openings to the same chotzer, and from the street you can see that the house has two doors. Tzricha shtei nerois. It requires two nerois, which means it requires two candles or two menorahs, two chanukiyos, one for each door. Yeah, I have two doors open to Rishus Harabim, to the chotzer, the Rishus Harabim, and those two, those two doors, each one needs its own menorah. Why is that? Soon we're going to see why, but first of all, we get into the details. Omar Rove, lo Amon, that is only true. Rove is now qualifying what Rav Huna said. Lo Amon ela mishtei ruchos. That is only true when the two doors are from two different sides. Okay, look at that. This is the house of the Maccabi family, whatever, this house of family Makabovich, and that is a bird's eye view that's looking from above. Yeah, let's say I have one opening to Rehov Rashi and another one's to Rehov Tosfos. Yeah, I have one door over here, one door over here, or window. Yeah, or yeah. So now I need to have one menorah over here and one over here, right? That's what we say. Meaning, if you have two doors open to the same street, we don't have to have candles in both, right? Now, the question is why? And before we continue, I'll tell you, the issue here is, it's not that every opening in the house needs a menorah. That frumkeit we didn't yet say. However, there's a chashash of maris ayin. There's a chashash that people, at some angle, some point, would think that you did not light your Hanukkah candles. And now we're going to explain how that works. Why is that? So, aval meruach achas lo tzorich. My time. Frag the Gemara, why is that? Why did Rava say that if I have, again, I have one door open to this street and another door open to the other street, I have, besides, let's say, the main one, I also have to put in this one. And the Meiri says that I use them both. Let's say I use them both. People see me coming in and out of here, right? And I have to have in both. But when I have one here and one here, two from the same side, we don't need. Okay, says my time. Frag Digmar, why is it? Mishum chashada. As we said, maybe the reason is chashad. The people of the street, because we care a lot about what? Yersomanes. The people walking down the street may suspect, choshed, that somebody here did not light the candles. Chashad the man. Who exactly are you concerned about? The chashad of who? Chashad the alma. If you want to tell me chashad of people from out of town. So some people, they come to visit from out of town, Chanukah, winter holidays. And what? Chashad the alma, afilu b'roch achas nami libai. Let's say that people walk down the street and they see that there is a candle only here. Yeah, only here there's a menorah, right? Now they don't know that it's one house. You don't always tell. In Chutzah, the big houses, you're not sure if it's one house or two houses. Maybe they would think that this is really divided. Maybe they will think that here there's a house with menorah, and here they would think there's another family without a menorah. So it's lacking in Pirsum Anes, and it's chshad. So why are you telling me that I need one candle here, but not the other one over here? Maybe enochinami, right? The chashad is you should make the person light over here too, because people who don't know the area, they may think that this nice big house belongs to two families, and they would think only family Levinstein lit and not the family Rubinstein. Yeah, that's so. Why aren't you concerned? And if chashad de bnei mata, and if it's the chashad of the people of the city, Afilu mishnei ruchas nami loy lebayim. If you're not concerned about the people, the out-of-towners, the visitors, you're only concerned about people, the mata. What's mata? Town. If you're only concerned with people from town, then even from two sides, you don't have to light. Why did you say that you have to light one here and one extra one over here because of the chashad? Why? L'choira, yeah, people in town, they know that this is the Levinstein household. So they know that I light over here and finished. Mimanavshach, people from out of town, they don't know anything, so you should cover all your grounds, have in every window. And if it's the people from our town, they know that the Levinsteins, they lit the Hanukkah candles over here. Why do you have to light over here too? Says the Gemara, a brilliant answer. We're only concerned about the chashad of the people from town, only the people from inside the city. And I saw the Meiri. The Meiri says why? Because the people from out of town, they're, if I understood him right, yeah, he says it's kilo, the problem is their lack of knowledge. A person from out of town thinks that this house is really two houses, it's his problem. It's against reality. Yeah? That's a chash of people out of towners. They may pass over here, right? And they would think this is Levinstein and this is Rubinstein, right? So I have to light in both. I don't have to start thinking that maybe they'll think it's divided. Talinan in their choiser yediyah, he says. So people out of town, leave them alone. Elamai, it's really chashada of the people in town. The people in town, they saw that a light over here. No, here comes the punchline. Oh, the entire Chanukah, let's say here I wouldn't have the candle. If I don't have the candle over here, and they know this is a Levinstein household, let's say their route, their trajectory, their way from the supermarket to the shul, to the yeshiva, to the cheder, to the babbe, is all going here and here and here, and they never go here. They will never see your menorah. They will always see your window without the menorah, thinking that here are the Levinsteins, and they don't light the candle because they will. The entire Hanukkah cannot pass over there. There are some streets in Ramat Beit Shemesh I haven't been to, I think, in 3-4 years. I have nothing to look for there. Nothing bad, nothing against them. I have nothing to look for there. Not cheder, not right. So that happens, right? We have our own narrow-minded lifestyle. So they will only pass over here. So that's why you have to cover all grounds in case people pass over here, do it over here. If people pass over there, do it over there. The Amri, people may say wrongly, just like here, he doesn't light his candles. Maybe in the other door, in the other Pesach, he doesn't light either. Now, Lemaisa, nowadays, I don't know what nowadays, a lot of Rishonim say that in their times, they didn't light outside, but inside anyways, because it was sakana from the goyim, and Chasidim, some of them do it till today. So they say when you have times of sakana, it doesn't matter, it's not relevant, and otherwise, maybe you have to be choshesh. If you light outside and you really are concerned that some people only go over here, maybe you light in the other menorah. I don't know if it's noik today. I have some vague memory that today are not choshesh, but ask your rabbi. If you have a house that's so nice and big with two different openings, and by the way, they have to be equally used. In other words, yeah, usually have one main door, right? That's the idea. We're talking about a house that has a big main door over here and one over there, here too, right? In other words, most people today know that if it's just a window, you probably light in the other window. If it's a main door, it looks funny. How come this main door doesn't have a menorah? Maybe the people don't keep Hanukkah. Maybe then ask your Rav, maybe you have to light also in the other big door, the other direction. Now we expand more on the concept of marital and chashad. What is your source? Yeah, do you have a source from the Torah to tell you that we are choishesh halachically, we care about chashad, that a person did not keep a mitzvah d'oraisa? We all know about marital. How do you know marital? Veisim nekim. Usually marital is people, this is an nekuda a little bit, not even, but an nekuda. Usually marital is people shouldn't think that I sinned. We're going to see later, I didn't do an avera. It wasn't choite. For example, don't go on Shabbos with a wet towel. People will think, right, you washed the towel, right? Don't dry a towel because people will think you washed it. Here, how do you know that people are supposed to know, and I'm supposed to be concerned with people not thinking that I'm a mitzvah saseh? That's a higher level. It's different. It's a mitzvah saseh Chanukah. How do you know that I have to be so accountable to every yachne yenta in town that doesn't think it was makam mitzvah saseh? That we're going to bring a proof from. From where? Let's see now. the Tanya. Oh, we can actually, if we have the picture, we can now convert it from a house. Now let's convert that into a field. This is very quickly converted into a field. Everybody knows that in the corner of the field, what do you have to keep for the anim? You have to keep peah, right? At the end of the harvest, you keep a corner in the corner full of what? Full of wheat. Yeah, 160th, no shirim d'oraisa, 160th d'rabbanan, and what? They come and they pick it, they harvest it, danim take it for themselves, right? Now, based on that, we have the halacha of chashad, the Tanya. Amar Rabbi Shimon, bishvil arba dvorim, because of 4 reasons, Amar Torah laniach peah besof saderu. The Torah said that the person should leave the peah, meaning the portion for anim should be left at the end of the field. Let me now suggest another novel idea. How about leaving the peah over here, and the peah won't be really a peah? What about if, look at that, I harvest. In the middle of the harvest, I say to the anim, hi guys, hi anim, I left you in the middle of my field. Yeah, right now, in the middle of my field, I'm leaving you an area. You can go cut it, and then I'll continue harvest till the end. Yeah, maybe the same level, same thing, same beautiful golden wheat swing in the wind. The same thing would be what? Would be in the middle of the field. Why did the Torah say, meaning don't cut off, don't finish off? What's lechalot? Don't finish off your field, but leave a corner to the anim. Why corner? Let's say for me, for some technical reason, I don't know why. For me, it's easier to leave them in the middle. Okay, I'll do everything halacha. Cut. In the middle of the field, in the middle of the work period, I'll leave it for the anim, and then continue cut. And at the end will be for me. But I left them very nicely in the middle. Why is that wrong? There are 4 reasons why peah has to be taken at the end of the period and end of the field. There are 4 reasons for that, and they have to do with chashad. Let's see. Reason number 1, all 4 reasons will be explained, so I'm not going to go into it now. Mipnei gezel anim, because you're stealing from the anim. Mipnei bitul anim, you're wasting the anim's time. Mipnei chashad, you may look suspicious in the eyes of people, and that's our point. Umishum bal techale, and because there's an Isra Torah of bal techale pe'as sodcho, do not cut off, do not remove the end of your field. Everything will be explained, don't worry. Reason number 1, why do you dafka have to do it in the corner and not do it in the middle? Why is the middle not good and only the corner is good? Why is that? Reason number 1, Baruch Hashem. The Baal Habayis, if you leave it to him to do it in the middle, what does middle mean? Whenever it feels like, right? You know it's going to be, the Baal Habayis will see some time, Shop Pnuya, an opportune time of opportunity. The Yomer Lekroy Vayoni, Baal Habayis is playing favorites. Did you ever hear about protectors happening in this country? No, science fiction. So let's say the Baal Habayis, you seem to, okay, very good. The Baal Habayis would tell his relative who's poor, Arezu Peya, look, hey, Mr. Dear poor cousin, if the anim, let me explain, if all the anim know that they all have to wait for the last day or the last days for the corner, all the anim are coordinated and it's transparent. It's transparent. Everybody knows all the anim the Baal Bais likes and the anim Baal Bais doesn't like. They all know that the Chalukah day will be next Tuesday afternoon, meaning at the end of the harvest. But if it's in the middle, Baal Bais can play games. He can hide the day of Peah and decide to do it whenever he wants, coordinating very nicely with the anim that he likes over others. And then really he's stealing the rights of other anim. Because it's like stealing because Peah is Momen Anim. The Peah is what the anim deserve, called Momen Anim. Oh, that's reason number 1. Reason number 2, Umipnei bitul anim. You're wasting the time of the anim. Shelo yu anim yoshvin umeshamrin. Anim shouldn't be sitting there waiting. Ach shemaniach Baal Habayis peah. Oh, the anim would say, the anim, would keep thinking, oi, Maybe today Balabais will leave it, maybe tomorrow. You're wasting their time. Yoshvin and Mishamrim, they will sit down waiting and waiting, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. You know, Anim also have their schedule, Anim have their lives. People don't know that, yeah? And therefore, once you leave it at the end, they know. They make the cheshbon, when more or less Balabais will finish, and then they all know to be coordinated and wait for that one day. Meanwhile, they go to other fields, they learn Torah, they do other things. Reason number 3, and that's our star of the show, the onlookers, the people who don't see the person leaving Peah, they would think, and they would curse the person, saying, may me'era, a klala, a curse, should come le'odem shaloniach peah b'sadeu. Yeah, a person didn't leave the peah in his field, he wasn't mekayim the mitzvah of peah, and they would curse him for that. In other words, when you leave it in the corner, it's a big happening, big simcha, all the anim come and everybody knows. If it's in the middle, even if he didn't lie, and he really allowed the anim, but people see him cutting the end. People see, you cut all the ends. In the middle, it's less significant, and it's much more enticing to have chashash, because it's less noticeable when it's in the middle of the whole balagan. Yeah, at the end of the day, he's cutting the end of all the field, right? All the corners. It looks as if he did not leave the peah. Oh, and that's why the Torah is telling me to leave it in the corner, so it should be very noticeable, right? Something is in the room, the corner, everybody knows it's there, it's more nicker, because we care about what people say about mitzvahs to say. And the 4th reason, umishum bal techale. Bal techale. In other words, it says in the Torah, don't cut off the end, don't finish off the field. What do you mean? What do you mean? All other 3 reasons were because of Bal Techale. Bal Techale is not a reason. Bal Techale is the pasuk that has 3 reasons. Yeah, it's like, why do you have to put on tefillin? Because it gives you light and connects to Hashem, and because it's tefillin. What do you mean? Because it's tefillin. It's not a reason. That's a fact. Yeah. Answers the Gemara. Aramoin. There are people, says Rashi, some people, unfortunately, they really don't leave Peah. It's much easier to lie, because they say, yeah, in the middle, you didn't notice. In the middle of the balagan, in the middle of the day, the middle of the field, we left it for the anim, and they didn't. The shenken in the corner, it's much, much harder to lie, because everybody knows that the crescendo, the end of the process, the climax has to be to the anim. It's much, much harder to hide it. In the middle, it's more like mished with the whole business, and that's why that's a 4th reason. But one of the reasons was chashad. And the Torah is saying about Techale. So the Torah is really hinting to you the idea that you should care about other people, shouldn't suspect you if not mekayim mitzvah to say. Really, lo Techale is lo taseh, but there's also an aseh over there to leave the peah. It's an aseh and lo taseh, as far as I remember. I think there's also an aseh to leave. La'ani tazav oisam, I think it's about peah. You leave it for the oni. There is a mitzvah tazav oisam. I think it's about peah. Maybe it's about leket. I hope I'm right. But Kitzer, yeah, your mitzvahs have to be, yeah, people shouldn't suspect you for not mekayim mitzvah. Okay? Which I think is also mitzvah to say. Omar Yitzchak, back to Chanike. Omar Yitzchak bar Redifa, excuse me. Omar Yitzchak bar Redifa, Omar Avuna. Ner sheyesh la shnei piyos. Again, the candles back then was different to ours. A candle has 2 mouthpieces. It has 2 ends, like a lantern with 2 ends, right? It's a double lantern. There's a spitz over here and a spitzel over there, right? And you can put candles on each side, meaning wicks on each side. Imagine yourself something that looks like a boat, and there's a thing over here. Yeah, it has 1 wick over here and 1 wick over there. A double candle, wick over here, wick over there. That's the way it is. Very good. So it serves 2 people, says Rashi, in a place where people only light 1 candle per person. Yeah, not all 8 candles. It's a household in which each person lights 1 candle per night, or maybe nowadays, the first night. You and your son in the first night. No, what do? 1 candle for me, 1 for him. Although it's 1 candle, as long as the wicks are nicker, are significantly different, 1 mouth and the other mouth, and you can see 2 flames, it's okay. In other words, it's not in the nair, in the place, in the shemen. It's 1 nair, 1 oil, 1 everything. But the wicks are 2, and they are significantly different. 1 wick and another wick, that's okay. That's called 2 candles, and it's fine for 2 separate people, right? It's not like two people lit 1 candle. Not a candle. It's a wick that we care about. Omarove. However, a similar case, Mila ki'oro shemen, a person filled a bowl, he filled it with oil, ve'ekifa psilois, and he surrounded it with psilois. He took a bowl, now this is looking from above, yeah, he took a bowl, yeah, let's imagine we're looking now from above, took a round bowl full of oil, yeah, and he filled it with wicks. There are wicks going out to all directions, psilois, yeah, this is oil, right? And there are wicks coming out from all directions. So depends. If he then covered it with a cover, with a lid, so then each one stays by its place. He's like forcing it that each wick stays in its place. Then good. You can have 8 people lighting together. I think they have to say to have ke'etzbar. You have to have some distance between them. But as long as each wick is separate, no problem. Yeah, it stays for a few people. In today's menorah, today Chanukiah, according to that, I'm not a Pesach halacha, sounds like if there's one Chanukiah, you and your son, let's say on the first night, to keep things uncomplicated, you can use one Chanukiah. I'm on one side, he's on the other side. The shamish, far away, could be, yeah. I lokofel a kli, but let's say he did not cover it with a kli. You know what's going to happen? Sooner or later, they're all going to unite. Fire likes to be united. Yeah, united we stand, united we burn. You're risking very quickly that it will not be a candle. It will be one big mess, one big fire. It doesn't even cover one person. Why? Because the Torah told us to lit what? Candles in Chanukah, not a medura. Medura is what we do on when? Actually, avuka, that's an Havdalah. Havdalah with Afka unite at least 1, if 2, if not 3 weeks together. Because on Motzei Shabbos, we celebrate the concept of fire. Fire is Medura, as big fire. On Chanukah and on Shabbos, Chanukah even more than Shabbos, we Afka light candles, separate candles, with 1 wick per person, 1 psila, 1 wick. So I saw why in the, what's his name, in the Dirshu booklet, they brought B'Shem Rishonim, because simply that's what they had in Beis HaMikdash. We're trying to somehow emulate what they had in Beis HaMikdash. Beis HaMikdash, they had candles. The mitzvah is Ba'alois Chasaneros, right? Therefore, you have to have candles. There's time for candles, there's time for fire. So don't have a messy business over there of one big fire. That's not called, and the Sfas Emes says, because Medura is something you use to enjoy the light. It doesn't look like you lit it for Hanukkah. It looks like you lit it stam for to have fire, like a fireplace. That's why. So you have to have 1 wick per person, significantly different. That's for me, that's for you, even though it's in the same candle, as long as the wicks are separate. Omarove, now we should never know, this Gemara should never be alocha l'maisa for any of us. But this Gemara is about priorities. Omarove, shitali, it's pashut to me, it's simple to me, it's clear to me, that let's say a person is lo aleinu, very poor, he only has money for 1 candle, not 2. He has money for 1 candle only. Okay. And now it's Shabbos and Chanukah. Mazel Tov, Shabbos, Chanukah came. So what do we say? Ner Beisav and Ner Chanukah. He's deliberating. What shall I do? Shall I use the little bit of money that I have to buy Ner for Chanukah or for Shabbos? What shall I do with the 1 candle I have? Chanukah or Shabbos? Ner Beisoy Odif. The Ner Beisoy, the Ner of the Bais, the Ner of Shabbos, the Shabbos candle is more important. Shalom Beisa, because the Shalom Bais is before Pirsum Anes. You know, they say, you learn from here, the Hanoga Bais. It's more important to be in Shalom Bais with your wife than to have Pirsum Anes. It's better to be a good family rather than look like a good family. Look at the inside. Don't try to be these, shiny, perfect families. You know those? No, try and be good in the inside. The Shalom Beisa, I tell you something you only saw for the first time in my life for the Rashash. Blew my mind. He's asking, why is Ner Shabbos called Shalom Bais? So it's a Mefurish Gemara later, and Rashi says people get stuck in the stone. If you eat in the dark, it feels very low quality, and you may get stuck, and you're going to spill your chol into the thing. So all the Shalom Bais people say, and then you're going to fight with your wife. It doesn't say it anywhere, as far as I saw. Stam, you will not be Shalom, you'll be miserable. But the Rashash says it's not Shalom Bais, it's just annoying. Why is it Shalom Bais? Says the Rashash a different thing. If you're not going to have Shabbos candle and only Hanukkah candle, your wife will be very upset. You're taking away from her mitzvah. And it says a woman is not careful in Shabbos candles, she may die at childbirth. So you're going to have Shalom Bayis issues if you use the Hanukkah candle on the expense of her of the wife of their Shabbos. That's what Shalom Bayis means over here in this context. Don't take away her mitzvah. That's in this context what it means. Now, the next thing in the competition, Ner Beisoy v'Kiddush Hayoim. Oh, now we're assuming here, by the way, and I was happy to see that in the Rishonim, the guy Baruch Hashem has bread. The Kupa Shel Tzedakah gave him a challah or two, beseder. But now comes another competition. Now he has enough money for either a candle for Shabbos or Kiddush Hayoim, wine for Kiddush. You can either buy some oil or some wine. Who goes first? What's the priority? Ner Beisoy Odif Mishum Shalom Beisoy. Wow, the winner is Ner Beisoy. So far in this tournament, number one winner is what? Ner Beisoy. The Ner of the house is more important. Shalom Bayis above everything. Now, Boirove, now we're going for the runner-ups. Now we're going for number two. Ner Chanukah v'Kiddush Hayoim. What about the guy has enough money? Baruch Hashem, he has money for what? For the Shabbos candle. Baruch Hashem. Now he got some more money. Now the competition is between buying Chanukah candle or wine for Kiddush. Which one comes first? Kiddush Hayoim Odif the Todir. Do we say the Kiddush of the Yom is more important because Kiddush is Todir? Kiddush you do hopefully every week. Chanukah is once a year. And we always know Todir ve'enu Todir, Todir koidim. The mitzvahs are more frequent or more important. So maybe you should go for the wine. Or maybe Ner Chanukah Odif Mishum Pirsum Nisa. Maybe Ner Chanukah is more important because of Pirsum Nes. Yeah, and we say that you give money for Anim, for the Dalit Koises, for example, because Pirsum Nes. Pirsum Nes is extremely important. So maybe Pirsum Nes overrides Kiddush. You'll make a Kiddush on bread, not on the wine. Also, after the question, he came and he answered the question. Ner Chanukah is more important because of Pirsum Nes. Pirsum Nes is a very important mitzvah because it keeps the generations going. It's a very important thing to be mefarsim for your family and for the world. The idea, and therefore, so what's the maskana in the hierarchy? Ner Shabbos, Shalom Bayis above everything. Yeah, make your wife a queen or else not good. Yeah. Secondly, what's the next idea? Chanukah, because of Pirsum Nes, and only thirdly, Yain for Kiddush. Okay, there are many more details, but again, we're not going to the halacha. By the way, the fight here, the competition is when you have one candle. But if you have two candles, you light one candle for Shabbos and one candle for Chanukah, even on the 8th night, because Me'ikar Adin, one candle is enough for Chanukah. Remember, that's for every night. And one candle is also enough for Shabbos, right? What? Where's that? Right, of course. That's what I just said. Nachon, not shtei nerot of Shabbos. I am saying what Rashi says. He doesn't have money to buy shtei nerot, but if he did, if he has money for shtei nerot, one ner would be Chanukah and one ner would be Shabbos. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying like if he doesn't have money for shtei nerot, then there's a problem. But if he has money for shtei nerot, like Rashi says, then one is for Chanukah and one is for Shabbos. That's exactly what I'm saying. Very good. Amar Rav Huna. Oh, I got it. That's a famous one. Everybody knows this Gemara. But let's see it inside. A rogil bener, a person who's always used to light candles in a good way. Haven le bonim talmid chachomim. Why is that? Ner mitzvah v'toira oir. You're careful with the Shabbos candle and Chanukah candle, says Rashi. Those candles, if you're careful with them, you rogil, you always light them. You're going to have children talmid chachomim. Why? Because Torah is light. Torah is the light of life. You careful with light. You'll have children who brighten the world with the Torah. As zoir b'mezuzah, a person who's careful with mezuzah has a very nice mezuzah. Zoich l'dirano, you have a good mezuzah. Hashem has a reason to get you a nice house. You'll have a nice house in order to have a nicer mezuzah. As zoir b'tzitzis, you're very careful with tzitzis. Zoich l'talis no, you're zoich to have fancy suits, a nice carpenter and shtreimel. You can have nice talis because you have a nice tzitzis. As zoir b'kiddush hayoim, zoich b'mal gar b'yayin. A person who's careful with Kiddush Hayom and he always uses wine, good fine wine, Hashem will be mizakim and he will fill many, many barrels of wine. By the way, the Maharsha has a nice diuk. At the beginning, which says Rogil Bener, and all the other mitzvahs, it says Zohir. Why? All the other mitzvahs are the men's mitzvah. The man makes kiddush, tzitzis, mezuzah. The man is in charge. You have to be careful, very careful. Ner, the woman is anyhow careful because she knows otherwise she's going to die. So she's zoil. You have to be rogil. You have to like help her. Yeah, you're not the one who's zohir. She's anyhow zohir, but you have to be rogil. You have to be participating in the mitzvah and also do part of it and be ragil in that to make sure be on the side. But the zehirus is the wives. Rav Huna have a rogil. Rav Huna was always the avcholif v'tanya pischa de Rabbi Abi Nagra. Rav Huna would always go back and forth, I guess, on his way to Bes Medrash. He would always pass by the door of Rabbi Abin the carpenter. Rabbi Abin the carpenter always, he would pass by back and forth. He saw that he's used to, b'Shabbos, according to Rashi, he used to light many candles on Shabbos. You know, it's a minhag by many families, you light candles to the number of the children. Omar, so he said, there are two great men who will come out of this house. And so it was. Nafki binay, Rav Idi bar Abin, Rav Chia bar Abin. Two very important Amoraim. Rav Idi bar Abin, Rav Chia bar Abin, they both came from this family. And by the way, two Talmidei Chachamim, because Ner Shabbos is the husband and the wife. Because the wife lights and the husband is the one who's helping, right? He's the one who prepares it. And also, some Rishonim say, because not like Rashi, I think Tosfos says, because there was also Chanukah and Shabbos candles. We were careful with both. So, two mitzvahs. However, here comes a similar story. Rav Chisda, Rav Chisda would always pass by the door, the Beinasha de Rav Shizvi. Beinasha de Rav Shizvi is either the father or father-in-law, or according to Tosfos, the dead father-in-law. The Almana, the Shviger of Rav Shizvi, which she was a widow. He saw there too, there are a lot of candles lit. Omar a great man will come out of that house. Nofik Menayu Rav Shizvi. And either Rav Shizvi came out of there. Either they married Rav Shizvi or they gave birth to Rav Shizvi. In any event, here we only talk about one Chacham. One Talmid Chacham came out. Why? Because either it was only Ner Shabbos and not Ner Chanukah, or only one person was involved, which is the Almono, Tosfos says. Only one person, one Talmid Chacham came, that's Rav Shizvi. A third story about the time. When do you have to light the Shabbos candles? The Visud of Yosef, of Yosef's wife, Havas me'achra umudlekes lo. She would always light the Shabbos candles close to Chashecha. It sounds like it was after Shkia. Close to Chashecha, yes, you'll be surprised. The Ritva says you light the Shabbos candle after Shkia a little bit. Yeah. And other Rishonim say before Shkia. Yes. Yeah, unbelievable. In any event, so she would light it like really late. Amar Rav Yosef. Rav Yosef then told his wife, listen, Tanya, he was teaching her. It says in the Brisa about the way they were in the Midbar, Leyomish Amud Ha'onon Yoimom, the Amud Ha'esh Laila. The Amud Ha'anan did not move during the day, and the Amud Ha'esh, the pillar of fire, did not move by night. What do you mean it didn't move? Melamed, it comes to tell me, She'amud Anan Mashlim LaAmud Ha'esh. Amud Ha'esh Mashlim Amud Ha'anan. What does it mean Amud Ha'anan Mashlim Amud Ha'esh? It means that before Amud Ha'anan would go away, meaning Amud Ha'anan was when by daytime, the pillar of not smoke, of cloud, the pillar of cloud would go when? Would be there by day. The night one was what? A pillar of fire. And they would overlap. They would overlap, both sides, night and day. So Lamaisa, if we compare Shabbos candles to Amud Ha'esh, to the pillar of fire, you should know the pillar of fire was Mashlim, came before the end of the day, before Amud Ha'anan went away. It would overlap. And that shows you what? It shows you that really Amud Ha'esh shouldn't be lit when it's dark, but before dark, when it's still daytime. Savol Akduma, Be'oid Hayom Godol. She wanted to light it when the day, says Rashi, when it was still a long time into the day, to make it really early, the other extreme. According to the Ritva, she wanted to light it before Shkia. Omer lo ahu Saba, and then this elderly man, some say it's Eliyahu Novi, an older person told her, Tanina, it says in the Brisa, Belvat shelo yakdim v'shelo ya'acher. Don't light it too early or not too late. In other words, you have to light it either a little bit before Shkia or a little bit after Shkia according to the Ritva. Lamaisa, the reason why in most places they're like 20 minutes, you know why? Because really we're not 2 minutes before Shkia. But there's a famous shita of the Yereim. Ablezer Mimetz, from France. Ablezer Mimetz, he holds that the Shkia, the real Shkia is 18 minutes before our Shkia. And therefore, on Shabbos, we're more machmir. So we say you light like the Yereim plus 2 minutes. And those 2 minutes are Tosefes Shabbos. Tosefes Shabbos plus 18 minutes of the Yereim is 20. And Yerushalayim did 40. I'm not sure why. I read a few reasons. None of them I understood. But there is an extra chumrah of 40 minutes. But that's, or you can light as early as Plag Mincha. But before Plag Mincha, you're not allowed to light. Because that's too early. It has to be related to Shabbos, not some light in the middle of Friday. There's no shaykhs, yeah? Okay. Omerove. Now more Agadita. More sgulas for Talmidei Chachomim, for Nachas, from the Kinderlach. Omerove. Derachim Rabbonon, a person who loves Talmidei Chachomim, and Mamish loves them, Havele, now I'm reading the regular version of the Gemara, Havele Bonin Rabbonon. A person who loves Talmidei Chachomim, he's going to have children who are Talmidei Chachomim. You love your children. If you love the Talmidei Chachomim, you help them, you want to help them, you want to do good to them, you'll have children whom you love, Talmidei Chachomim. The Moiki Rabbonon, a person who respects Talmidei Chachomim, he doesn't love them, he gives them respect. Havale Chasvanasa Rabbonon, he's going to have sons-in-law. Your son-in-law, and not like your son, you respect him. It's a little bit more removed. It's also a big thing, yeah? You respect the guy, you have a respectful person, your son-in-law, Talmid Chacham. The Dochil Merabonon, a person who fears Talmidei Chachomim, obviously in a good way, a person who has awe and deference from Talmidei Chachomim, who Guf Avitum Merabonon, he himself will be a Talmid Chacham. He'll have the zchus to be a Talmid Chacham. Dilav Bar Hochi, but let's say he can't be a Talmid Chacham. Rashi says, Eino Rogil Asok B'Torah. It's hard for him. He doesn't have enough time, enough ability to learn Torah. If so, then people would listen to him. His voice will be heard. His opinion will matter, like a Talmid Chacham. If he fears the Talmidei Chachamim, people will also listen to him as if he himself is a Talmid Chacham. The Gaon has the opposite version here. The Gaon of Vilna, if you see on the side, he says that instead of Moika says Dochil Rabbanon, the one who fears Rabbanon, then he will have children to Talmidei Chachamim, and the one who respects them will have the one who respects them, the Dochil, the one who's Moikir, the one who respects them will be himself Talmid Chacham. I'm not sure why, but that's another girsa. Okay, I'm sorry that this is my new minhag, but I don't finish the Omid exactly. I mean, we can start one line if you want. V'lo b'shem and sreifa. V'lo b'shem and sreifa. We're not going to the details. We're just continuing in the Mishnah. The Mishnah said you're not allowed to light with Shem and Sreifa on the Neros of Shabbos. We're done with Chanukah for now. We will go back to Chanukah davening later. Right now we're talking about Shabbos again. Don't light on Shabbos candles, with oil called Shem and Sreifa, the oil that's burning. What do you mean? My Shem and Sreifa, Omer Rabba, Shemen shel Truma shenitme'ah. It's a Shemen of Truma Tme'ah. A Truma that's Tme'ah, you're not allowed to use it. If you are a Kohen, you can use it and enjoy it. If you're a Sura, not even that. We're going to explain more of those details tomorrow. Why is it called Shem and Sreifa? Yeah. In other words, Shem and Sreifa, you're not allowed to eat Truma Tme'ah. It's an Isser, right? And all you're allowed to do is do what? Burn it. You're allowed to benefit from it while it burns if you're a Kohen. Now, why can't I light? It's very good olive oil. So what if it's Truma? I'm allowed to benefit from Truma and have a no. Oh, it's not regular oil. The oil which is Truma Tme'ah is the oil that you have to burn. We're going to see those halachas more on Wednesday. I think it'll be your turn, Rav David, yeah? But we're going to see more. The Shem and Truma Tme'ah has to be consumed, has to be finished. The person will be, like Sreifas Chometz. You do everything to make sure all the chometz burns. So too, you may come to tilt it on Shabbos in order to quickly make sure that the Shem and Sreifa, Shem and Truma Tme'ah is out of the way. It's crazy. He's going to be Mechalel Shabbos to do that, not willingly. He'll be so nervous, he'll forget it's Shabbos. He'll be so focused on quickly getting rid of the Truma Tme'ah, of the impure Truma. So that's why I say, don't light with it on Shabbos. And in Hashem, tomorrow we'll see more details. Okay, thank you very much. Atzlocha uvrocha. May we all be zecher to children, grandchildren, chasanim, talmidei, chachamim. Atzlocha uvrocha. Thank you very much.